And this is just a mixtape.
Cannon.
Essentials music. The hottest beats on the planet. Essentials music. The hottest beats on the planet. Essentialsmusic.com.
Expose him! Expose him!
And you start to align yourself with certain things, like you're going into your purposes, or you're going to find work that aligns with your morals and values, and to figure out something that you're passionate about. That's what I aligned myself in when I started to work for an academy in the States. Academies is something that I've never had the privilege of being a part of when I was younger, coming up in youth football, but I am thankful for having been discovered and having playing high school and having the privilege to play at other high levels and really navigate me way through football and get other opportunities outside of playing club. Now, not to say that club in the academy does not offer amazing opportunities, does not give children these myriad of options and allows them to travel the country, and also allows them to play with other players who are of high caliber. But these academies and the system is broken, and it therefore doesn't reach to the whole community. It doesn't reach to the whole lot of children. Academies, certain of them, because there definitely are certain academies that are doing the right things. They are developing players. They are developing children. And that, to me, is what should come first. Because when you are putting your entire identity into football, and then you are stripping children away of their identity and their personality, and you are making them systematic robots, and you're only looking at them as a profit, or looking at them in this business model, and you're taking children and you're putting them in these adult situations, and you're expecting them to mature, or you're having this in these academy settings, and then all of a sudden, for after years, they aren't performing or they aren't living up to the expectations, and now it's cut. And now this leaves this child who has put identity into football and has stripped them of everything that who they thought they were, because their identity is in the sport. And so we've been duped by these high-level clubs in some countries who are pushing these academy systems, and they're not being full frontal truth. They are manipulating, and they are being very meticulous about what narrative they are pushing, because they want your business. And me being a whistleblower, and me being able to highlight certain academies and certain grassroots levels who are still able to allow children to be creative and allow them to use their imagination and allow the football culture to grow. Because if you don't have a football culture at the helm of your academy, if you are not developing children, if you are not helping them be the best that they can be, then your academy is ultimately going to fail. You see, certain academies are only using one or two at most players to be frontal focus points, and they are building teams around these focus points. But it is a team. We are living in a society to where that there is a lot of heroism and a lot of egotism into a team sport. When I watch YouTube shorts, or when I watch certain reels on Instagram and on TikTok, a lot of these content creators are saying this person brought their team to a championship, or this person and this person. And I get the sentiment of what I'm saying. This is not a call out to not highlight the person who seems to be the best on the team. But usually the best person on the team is able to pour into the rest of the team. In football, without the centre backs, without the midfields, without the forwards, Without the goalie, the system breaks down. And when we only want to highlight the center or the one position, and we want to take away the focus from the other positions and just say that this person got them to a championship or this blah blah blah, it takes away the validity of the other players. And when you're only trying to focus and build around that player, now the development of the other players ultimately suffers because of that. And we have to be careful, parents, when we take our children to these fancy academies with these CEOs or these directors who only care about the monetary gain from the business that you're bringing them. Since being in Australia, I've seen certain academies and I've seen the level, and I've trained certain kids outside of these academies, and I've seen that certain kids in these high level academies still don't understand the fundamentals or how the technique of the game, or how to deal with the mental aspect of the game. They have no sense of identity. They have no sense of creativity or imagination or anything that makes them unique and makes them stand out outside of Australia. You see, I'm at a beautiful, wonderful academy. Of course, we have issues like every place does. There's no perfect developmental place. There's no perfect club. But it's a sense of community there. It's a sense of ownership. It's a sense of standard there. Do we fall along the way? Absolutely, yes. But we get back into checking each other and holding each other accountable, and sometimes sitting down to hash things out and to be like, hey, we're getting away from our credo, we're getting away from our motto, and we need to get back to that. And that's what I appreciate, the transparency and the honesty, to be like, this is a step up from a grassroots, but we're not quite an academy because we don't want to fall into that toxicity. And I feel like that's important. And I try to advocate to parents here and also to parents over in the state that there's nothing wrong with your son or your daughter going to play an academy. But make sure that you do your homework and make sure that you are preparing your child the best that you can in order to walk into this system. Because sometimes it gets cutthroat. Not even sometimes, most of the time, it gets super cutthroat when you are entering into that realm. Is your son or your daughter going to be able to deal with that cutthroat? Are they going to be able to have the social capacity and the mental capacity to deal with those type of interactions? Are they going to be prepared to stand out against other children who not only have the talent, but play a position maybe better than what your son or your daughter thinks that they are exuberant at? So being able to be versatile, being able to take criticism, being able to work at another level, and being able to already have those values ingrained in you from a developmental academy is key. Wins.